Thank you very much for this fascinating presentation. I'll start with one short question. For the 100-man trial, have there been any dropout rate, people that drop out, and perhaps enthusiasm and commitment stand behind the good numbers at the end and to ordinary healthcare or prevention advice?
Right. So I would say two things. For the scientific wellness efforts we've done both in the 108 study and in Airvale, because of the coaches, where we get about 70% compliance on actionable possibilities, on a yearly basis, 80 to 90% retain in the program and re-enlist in the future. We're doing a clinical trial of 1,000 Providence employees on scientific wellness who have signed up for the Airvale program for 3 years, and we're comparing them with 1,000 random employees. And to date, the dropout rate has been, again, incredibly low there. That is because of the personal activity the coaches give in educating the patients, and that's key, in assuring their compliance and ensuring their longitudinal commitment to the program and everything. So on the scientific wellness program, we've done very well. We're just starting with Genentech, the first big dense phenotyping program on one aspect of lung cancer, so we don't have any data on compliance and things like that yet.
Other question? Professor Ciechanover?
What is the current cost currently of each patient in the 108 program, and what is the trajectory?
So, great question. So the cost currently is about $1,500 per year, gives you all of the analyses. They've backed off on doing whole genome sequence to doing SNP analyses because of its expense. But my projection is in a 5 to 10 year period, the cost of the analytes will decrease by 90% over what it is now. And we see really a clear trajectory of where that's going to be possible. We certainly think with third generation sequencing, we'll see human genomes that are $100 or less. Frankly, I think some of the large companies like Illumina get very close to that if they had any incentive to do so. They don't currently. Much more challenging are reducing the costs of the analytes, but what we're basically working on is making every analyte measurement in the end a DNA sequence analysis measurement, and that's going to enormously allow us to miniaturize, to highly parallelize and reduce the cost of those things. And I think the other cost are the coaches. And with Consilience and its ability to do a lot of the fundamental work for the coaches, and with avatars, I think we'll be able to expand their ability to manage very large populations. They can manage 100 to 150 now, but I think it'll go up by, again, an order of magnitude.
Professor Fields?
Thank you for a spectacular talk. Can you comment on any IRB or consent issues that were encountered in the initiation of the 108 people who were studied?
Well, we did this with Western, and it took us 2 months to explain to them what we were doing, but in the end, they gave us everything we wanted. And I'll tell you, I think what was really key with 108, we did a lot of education on those individuals. 96% of them agreed to have their de-identified data analyzed. And the major argument that convinced them was these data are going to invent the future of medicine that will change your kids and your grandchildren's life. And it's your obligation to do this kind of thing. We have absolutely similar compliance numbers with Airvale. So with education, I think we can, with education and the coaches who become the trusted guarantee. I mean, the coaches become your mother. I mean, I know I've had a coach for 4 years or 5 years, and they nag you, but they nag you in ways that move you to, I mean, the essential thing is, how do you make an individual realize they're responsible for the health. And they're the ones that are going to have to move this forward. And we've done that with a lot of people now.
Professor Prinsak.
So thank you. It's very, very exciting what you're doing. I wonder what your vision is, or what your hopes would be as to how this very cutting-edge preventive approach would be taken up in healthcare more broadly, and what the financing models would be.
Well, I can say that's a great question, too. And you can ask, what is it going to take to move this into healthcare systems? And I think it's going to take a number of things. One, it's going to take convincing the relevant leaders, and that's at the C-suite level, and that's at the operational level. Number two, it's going to take educating them so they understand what this is about and the enormous opportunities, but it's also going to require educating the healthcare professionals that are a part of that. And we have programs for doing this. The C-suite at Providence is 100% behind what we're doing and thoroughly understands it. The bigger challenge is getting all the physicians on board, because we all tend to be conservative in nature, but that's a matter of education, and that's a matter of demonstrating the power of what you're doing to help the lives of their patients, and that's what's really going to convince them, I think.
Thank you very much. We write down the names of those who want to speak. We have time at the end of the morning and at the end of the day, but we try to keep with our time.